You have probably noticed cottage cheese making a massive comeback on grocery store shelves and in modern diet plans. The nutritional claims surrounding it are substantial, building muscle, driving weight loss, and supporting long-term bone and heart health. But if your fridge is already stocked with Greek yogurt, or you rely on daily protein shakes, you have to ask if making the swap to cottage cheese is actually worth the effort. This diagram shows a direct comparison of cottage cheese against yogurt and a generic protein shake. Deciding between them isn't a simple yes or no. It depends entirely on matching how the food breaks down to what you are physically trying to achieve. To figure out if you should be eating it, we need to evaluate it for 3 specific types of eaters: the fitness optimizer, the weight and energy manager, and the longevity eater. By breaking down its exact mechanics, we can determine if it functions as a precise nutritional tool to solve your specific health friction. Let's start with the fitness optimizer, someone whose primary focus is hitting their macronutrients and recovering from workouts efficiently. Compared to standard, smooth yogurts, cottage cheese delivers a much denser, heavier payload of protein per calorie. That density comes from its primary biological differentiator, a slow-digesting compound called casein protein. This chart maps digestion speed against how long you stay full. Whey protein lands in fast absorption, ideal for rapid post-workout replenishment. Cottage cheese drops into a different profile. Its casein digests slowly, providing a steady release of amino acids. This presents a clear biological trade-off. Casein is highly effective for sustained overnight muscle recovery, but it will fail you if your body needs immediate, rapid replenishment. There is also a behavioral trade-off. Hitting optimal muscle-building macros with cottage cheese means adapting to its distinct, curdy texture, something that universally smooth yogurts don't require. For the fitness optimizer, cottage cheese operates best as a tool for sustained, overnight structural repair, rather than a post-workout quick fix. Next, we evaluate the weight and energy manager, an archetype who frequently battles midday fatigue and struggles with diet adherence. The central point of friction for this group is the classic 3 p.m. energy crash, which triggers intense cravings for high-carb comfort snacks. Cottage cheese mechanically counteracts that specific craving, operating much like this slow-burning flame. Using it as a low-carb midday snack stabilizes your blood sugar levels. When your blood sugar stays level, your body generates steady, reliable energy to get through the rest of your daily tasks. Because it keeps you feeling full and physically satisfied for significantly longer periods, it effectively neutralizes the afternoon crash before it happens. The behavioral trade-off here requires the upfront discipline to bypass those highly palatable, fast-digesting carbohydrates in the first place. If the texture makes that discipline difficult, cottage cheese is highly versatile. You can eliminate the curds entirely by blending it into pasta sauces or smoothies. The nutritional return on that blending is massive. You drastically increase the protein and satiating power of a meal without dumping in heavy, empty carbohydrates. The secondary trade-off is time. You are committing to a mandatory extra step of culinary prep to make it palatable. For weight management, cottage cheese comfortably enforces a caloric deficit through prolonged satiety, provided you are willing to creatively prep it. Finally, we have the longevity eater. This archetype focuses on systemic, everyday biological health rather than short-term aesthetic goals. For them, the value lies in a highly concentrated mineral profile, specifically its rich doses of calcium and phosphorus. This animated cross-section shows exactly how those 2 minerals interact with your skeletal system. Daily consumption of these specific minerals directly supports your bone density, actively fortifying the internal structure over time. The dietary trade-off is volume. This dense mineral payload is beneficial, but viewers sensitive to high dietary calcium loads must carefully calculate it into their daily limits. Beyond the skeletal system, it also contains essential trace minerals like selenium and zinc. That specific nutrient combination supports a stronger overall immune response and contributes directly to long-term cardiovascular health. These systemic benefits require a reality check. They are the result of a foundational health habit and consistent long-term consumption. They do not work as an overnight cure. For the longevity eater, cottage cheese acts as a proactive daily defense system, putting reliable, whole food armor on the skeleton and heart against long-term wear. Looking at the complete picture, The utility of cottage cheese is defined entirely by its slow digestion speed and dense micronutrient profile. This scorecard breaks down the final verdict, so you can decide exactly where it fits into your kitchen. It lands in the perfect for column if you are an optimizer needing overnight muscle recovery or a weight manager who needs a low-carb anchor to stop midday hunger crashes. It operates as a viable alternative if you are willing to break out the blender, stealthily hiding it in sauces and smoothies to keep your meals satiating. But it belongs in the skip if column if you require fast-absorbing protein after the gym, or if you refuse to do the culinary prep required to bypass the texture. If you are willing to integrate it with purpose, it stands as one of the most hard-working tools in the dairy aisle for sustaining energy, fortifying your bones, and mastering your body composition.